Alright, first video that I'm uploading to YouTube. This way you can actually read the text that's being displayed. I'll zoom in a tiny bit just on the off chance it's still kind of crappy. Cool. So, hey, two big updates for those who have been paying attention from the last one. The skill tree is like barely functional now, which it wasn't before, and I have tooltips, which was actually even more work than what I just said. For the tooltips, they exist as a sort of object. They're kind of ugly. You can see there's a lot of objects that go into them. The code for them themselves isn't that much, but there's a lot more code for it in the actual passive node. So this is the passive node. It's the object that you see in the tree that has all of the different skills, and this whole function is defining essentially the tooltip. The way it works is that each node will have one or more effects, and for each effect, it's going to append some text and some subtext that like lower text that gives the actual increment number, whereas that's just sort of the title. And it should avoid doing any duplicates, but until we do have a lot more nodes and doing more extensive testing, I'll need to see if I need to do more than just doing this dumb check for a title that exists. But hey, as long as I have unique names, it should be fine. So that's the code for the tooltip. The other bit of the code that is, and there's a bit of reworking going on, is to actually apply the effects. So each branch, an active skill gem, and a support skill gem, they're all going to be branches, although the support skill gems will speak to the like parent branch. So if you have, say, increased attack speed as a support gem, it will speak to your blood arrow skill and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. But what's important is that on the actual active, which is all I've got functional for now, is when you select a node or deselect a node, you'll hit this apply passive effect. Now this is on the blood arrow branch, and you'll notice it's checking for skill attack speed, skill damage. Don't worry about node type. It's just in case I want something there for testing. It also calls its parent effect. Now, if you know coding inheritance, you know that what I mean when I say parent, but basically this is going to the parent and saying, hey, if you need it to do anything, here's the call to do so. So why that matters is if you imagine you have a skill node that says plus skill attack speed versus plus player attack speed. If it's just player attack speed, I can do that generically in the skill tree branch instead of having to rewrite that code every single time. So a bit of basic stuff about inheritance, but point is it's all functional now. If I hit play, you'll see I have this much movement speed and one attack per second. Just again, a nice easy testing value. If I look at the skill tree, I can see tooltips are showing. They do scale right? So that one's got roughly right vertical width and roughly right horizontal width. This is applying to all of these nodes, and if I take all the movement speed nodes, you can see I run faster, way faster. I'm not entirely sure if this is correct. It does seem a little exponential, something I'm going to double check, but it is working, and when I unapply these nodes, you can see I've gotten reduced. You can also see if I take all of these, and I take this one here, which is giving me an increased movement speed, you still have that movement speed. If I take that off, you'll see it has gone back down. And I have a faster attack speed. Spam and click fires much faster than 1 per second. There's still a bunch of things to do before V1 playtests. First off, I need to expand this tree out. I'm not going to have any support gems for the first one. There's still no enemies, so I can't actually test if the skill damage passives would work. So I need to get enemies in there. I have no XP gems, so even if there were enemies, there'd be no point in killing them. But once I've done that, hopefully we're pretty close to a V1 playtest. Well, really, V.1. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.